Before I'd even started, they wanted to know what their lines were. I thought they were joking. They weren't. The principal was coming in to observe my lesson the next day. I told the class, expecting the usual reaction. Instead, one of them leant forward and said, "We can practice it." I paused. "Practice what?" "The lesson," he said, "so it runs properly." I frowned. "Runs properly?" "Yeah," another added, "like a fake one first." I let that sit. A fake one. They nodded. "So you don't mess it up when the principal's watching?" I glanced across the room. "Right, walk me through that." They didn't hesitate. "Miss Lamb does it every time," one said. "She gives us the questions before the lesson." "And the answers," another added. I nodded slowly. "Before the lesson?" "Yeah, like exactly what to say." "Exactly?" I repeated. "And if you say it wrong when we practice, she stops you," someone else said. "Stops you how?" "She just, makes you do it again until it sounds right." "Until it sounds right?" "Yeah, like how you told us in presentations. Clear, structured, confident." I gave a small nod. "And this is the day before?" "Sometimes earlier," one said, "if it's a big observation." Another voice, quieter. "She'll keep us back if it's not ready." I looked at them. "She kept you back?" "Yeah." A slight pause. "And she tells you who's answering what?" "Yeah, like who puts their hand up, who goes to the board, all that stuff." "So that it flows," someone else added. "So that it flows?" I repeated. They were watching me more closely now. One of them frowned slightly. "Sir, don't you do that?" I shook my head. "No, not really." A few of them exchanged looks. "Wait," one said. "So you don't tell us what to say?" "No." "You just ask?" "Yes." "And we just answer?" "If you want to." That one landed. They shifted. "So what if we say something wrong?" "Then we work through it. It's a lesson." "And we don't need to fix this before the class?" "No." Silence. Then, "But she says you have to." I looked at him. "You have to?" "Yeah, she says if we don't practice it properly, it reflects badly on her." Another added, "And she says not to mention the practice." I didn't respond straight away. "Not to mention it?" I said. "Yeah, if someone asks." A few of them were nodding. "It just looks easier if it looks natural." I took a breath. I guess that's normal for some teachers." The second that left my mouth, I felt it. Too smooth, too controlled. There was a pause. Then one of them leant forward and put his hand up. "Sir?" I looked at him. "You're doing that thing." "What thing?" "That voice." A couple of heads turned. "What voice? What do you mean?" "The voice you told us not to use." I held his gaze. "Remember in presentations?" he said. "When you're trying to sound convincing?" Another student nodded slowly. "Yeah, when it sounds right but it's not real, remember?" No one was smiling now. You're doing that right now, sir. I let a second pass. I'm just saying different teachers prepare in different ways. That's the voice again, he said. Quieter. Certain. Another student frowned. So you don't do this, sir? No. And the other teachers don't? I hesitated. Not like that. They looked at each other, then back at me. So the lesson she shows them? He paused. It isn't the actual lesson, someone else finished. Silence. One of the students shook their heads. That's not practice. Another one added. It's pretending. And no one laughed. One of them said, almost under his breath, and she makes us do it every time. Another one added, and tells us not to say anything. That one sat heavier. I didn't interrupt. I didn't correct it. I didn't soften it. They didn't look at me anymore. They were looking at each other, putting it all together. So, then, after a moment, so do you want us to practice? I shook my head. No, we're just going to do the lesson. The next day, the principal came in. A student hesitated before answering. Another got something wrong. We stopped. We worked through it. No one was waiting for a cue. No one checked their wording. No one looked at me to see if it was right. It just happened. After the lesson, while they were packing up, one of them said, "That felt different." Another nodded. "Yeah." A pause. Then, "We didn't have to get it right first." No one said her name.